think reading from a script and I think only answering questions halfway is really going to have an impact on those persuadable voters, because the one thing they look at Hillary Clinton and they still can't get over is, can I trust this person? And I think that remains a problem.
Well, can she be trusted? That's CNN political analyst and former Romney campaign aide Kevin Madden giving voice to a question many voters may be asking after Hillary Clinton's press conference yesterday concerning her use of personal emails and a server in her own home while she was serving as our Secretary of State. Welcome into the Wednesday edition of America's Forum with Miranda Kahn, J.D. Hayworth here, and this story is going to continue on.
Oh, yes, it is. Mrs. Clinton responded to the growing email scandal, saying she had deleted about half of her emails from her years as Secretary of State, adding she had turned over all government-related correspondence, but had erased emails related to personal matters.
What about the political? And what happens next? So, with this morning's View from the Hill, we're pleased to be joined by Republican Congressman Blake Farenthold of Texas. Blake's a member of 3 committees, specifically Oversight and Government Reform, Transportation and Infrastructure, and the Judiciary Committee. Blake, thanks for joining us. He is, and he's taken time to join us via telephone. Blake, obvious question. Good to have you here, sir. What's your reaction to what Mrs. Clinton had to say yesterday?
I'll tell you, I was incredibly disappointed that she wouldn't turn over everything. And I think she set herself up in a pretty big trap that she says she turned over all the government-related email. You know, it only takes one to do away with the word all. And remember, every email doesn't just reside on the sender's server, it's on the recipient's server. So as the stuff Ms. Clinton turns over is reviewed, if something comes up from another source from Mrs. Clinton about a government matter, it's going to be pretty clear that she didn't turn over all of them.
Were you surprised at all by anything that she said during the news conference? Was there something that you were hoping to hear?
I would have liked to have seen her turn over her server, put the government in touch with her IT people, find the backup tape. The whole idea that you go to the trouble to have an email server set up in your home just raises my eyebrow. I'm about as nerdy a member of Congress as there is. I used to have a computer consulting company, and I ran an email server in my office, but the thought of setting one up in my home, come on.
Blake, we've got about 2.5 minutes left, and for the record, it's worth noting Mrs. Clinton insists she did not send any sensitive information. Let's listen to what she had to say yesterday.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. So I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
Blake, she's saying, trust me. Do you trust her?
I can't imagine functioning as Secretary of State without sending some sort of sensitive or classified information over email. How did you do business on a day-to-day basis?
And we want to change gears now, if we can, for a moment to talk about the president's proposed executive action on ammo. It seems like he lost another Second Amendment battle as ATF has decided to drop that proposed ban on ammo commonly used for AR-15 rifles. Was this, in your opinion, a result of public pressure?
I think it was. I'm asked all the time, how can we stop President Obama? And I say, listen, he is very sensitive to politics and public pressure. And with the number of comments the ATF got, the number of members of Congress that signed a letter to the ATF, it was pretty clear the American people were not behind him on this. And ATF and the president responded.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Blake. On its Twitter account, ATF tweeted out, quote, "You spoke, we listened." Reportedly, 80,000 people had written in to complain. They say they're going to take more time to study this, but with 30 seconds remaining, does this, in essence, kill the entire proposal?
I don't think it kills the proposal, but it stops it from the time being. There are a lot of gun control advocates out there in the Democrat Party and in the government, and as it's not going to go away that easily. We've got to be ever vigilant in protecting our Second Amendment rights from this and other government action.
Well, Congressman Blake Farenthold, Republican of Texas, self-described in this interview as a computer nerd with his own computer repair business back in the day. Sir, we thank you for your insights on the Hillary Clinton situation and some good news for those of us who remain steadfast for the Second Amendment. Colonel Derek Harvey is coming up next. Stay tuned to America's Forum.